Have you ever felt like an invisible wall separates you from money? Like every time you get close to abundance, something pushes you back. It's not a lack of effort. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's not even a lack of opportunities. It's something much deeper, much more subtle, and much more devastating. There's a silent force operating within your mind, a force that Eckhart Tolle describes as the greatest saboteur of human prosperity. And the worst part, you don't even realize it's there. But today, that changes. Because I'm going to show you exactly how this force works against you, how it was programmed, and more importantly, how to disable it forever. But first, I need you to understand something. If you're here watching this, it's no coincidence. You didn't get here by accident. Your soul recognizes that the time has come, the time to break the invisible chains that bind you to scarcity. Take a deep breath, because what I'm about to reveal will shock you. It will make you question everything you believe about money, worthiness, and abundance. And in the end, it will liberate you. So tell me something. How many times have you been so close to a huge financial breakthrough that you could almost taste victory? But then, out of nowhere, something went wrong. An unforeseen event, a strange decision, an inexplicable self-sabotage. And you were back where you started. If this sounds familiar, you need to know something. This doesn't happen by bad luck. This doesn't happen by a lack of fortune. This happens because there's a program running in your subconscious. A program so old, so ingrained, that you don't even suspect its existence. Eckhart Tolle calls this resistance to abundance. But I'll go further. I call this the greatest crime against the human spirit. Because as long as this program is active, you can have every strategy in the world, all the knowledge in the universe, all the willpower in the galaxy. Nothing will work permanently. You'll continue to be pulled back to scarcity like a rubber band. And you know what's cruelest? You'll blame yourself. You'll think you're not good enough, that you don't deserve it, that you weren't born for this. But that's a lie. The truth is that you were programmed to repel abundance. Programmed by whom? That's a story few have the courage to tell. But I will tell it. It all started when you were a child. Small, vulnerable, absorbing everything around you like a sponge. And at that crucial moment, 3 toxic beliefs were implanted in your mind. 3 poisonous thoughts that today operate like viruses in your mental operating system. The first virus is the cruelest of all. Good people don't have a lot of money. You heard this in different ways. Maybe your mother said that money doesn't buy happiness. Maybe your father said that rich people are bad. Maybe in church you heard that it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. And your childlike mind absorbed all of this and created a deadly equation. Money equals evil. Abundance equals selfishness. Prosperity equals corruption of the soul. And since then, every time you get close to abundance, a siren goes off in your subconscious. Danger. You're becoming a bad person. And your own internal system sabotages you. It makes you make bad decisions. It makes you miss opportunities. It makes you repel the very thing you desire most. Because deep down, you don't want to be a bad person, and your mind associated money with evil. Do you see the cruelty of this? Do you see how this keeps you in an invisible cage? But that's only the first virus. The second is even more subtle. I don't deserve it. This one is silent, deadly, efficient. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It whispers every time you're about to charge what you're worth. No, it's not that much. It whispers every time an opportunity arises. This isn't for me. It whispers every time you think of dreaming bigger. Who do you think you are? This virus was installed at specific moments in your childhood. Maybe when you asked for something and heard, "Do you think we're rich?" Maybe when you showed a dream and someone said, "Stop dreaming, come back to reality." Maybe when you tried something new and failed and you heard, "Didn't I tell you it wouldn't work?" And each of these experiences engraved a false truth in your emotional DNA. I'm not worthy of good things. And since then, you've been operating from this lie. You settle for less, you accept crumbs. You don't dare ask for more, because deep down a little voice whispers, you don't deserve it. But do you know what the third virus is? The most devastating of all? Money runs out. This is the virus of pure scarcity. It convinces you that there is a finite amount of abundance in the universe, and that if you take more, someone will have less. So you live in fear. Fear of asking for more. Fear of charging more, fear of having more, because if you have more, someone will have less. and you don't want to be responsible for anyone's suffering. So you stay small, you stay safe, you stay poor. But today, I need to tell you a truth that will burst these three viruses at once. A truth that Eckhart Tolle discovered after years of extreme suffering. A truth that transformed homeless individuals into millionaires, failures into successful entrepreneurs, and the hopeless into the abundant. Do you want to know what that truth is? Do you really want to break these chains that bind you to scarcity? Then hold on tight, because what I'm about to reveal goes against everything you've been taught about money, worthiness, and abundance. The truth is this: the universe is not scarce. The universe is infinitely abundant. There is enough energy in a single drop of water to power a whole city. There is enough information in a single cell to fill libraries. There is enough abundance in a single conscious breath to transform your entire life. The problem was never a lack of abundance. The problem has always been your resistance to receiving it. And that resistance, it's not your fault. It was programmed into you. But now that you know it exists, now that you can see it operating, now you can disable it. But how? How do you remove a program that has been running for decades in your subconscious? How do you break chains you can't even see? How do you tear down an invisible wall that seems too solid? Eckhart Tolle discovered something revolutionary. He discovered that the mind resistant to abundance can only operate in the past or the future. She needs time to exist. She needs painful memories to justify herself. She needs future fears to stay alive. But there's a place where she can't reach you. A place where all mental viruses simply stop working. A place where abundance flows naturally, effortlessly, without resistance. That place is now, the pure present. But not just any kind of present. A very specific kind of presence. A state that Eckhart Tolle calls anticipated gratitude. And that is the key to everything. Anticipated gratitude. I'll explain. When you feel anticipated gratitude, you're sending a powerful signal to the universe. You're saying, I've already received. I am already abundant. I already have everything I need. And the universe, which is pure energy responding to the vibration you emit, has no choice but to mirror that reality back to you. But pay attention. This isn't superficial positive thinking. This isn't repeating empty mantras. This is a complete reorganization of your energetic structure. It's literally reprogramming your mental operating system. And it works because it taps into a universal law that most people ignore, the law of correspondence. As within, so without. If within you there is abundance, the without will be abundant. If within you there is scarcity, the without will be scarce. And anticipated gratitude is the fastest way to install abundance within you. But there's a secret to making this work. A secret that not all spiritual masters know. A secret that can accelerate this process from weeks to minutes. Do you want to know what it is? Are you ready to discover the exact technique that will deactivate the three mental viruses and install a new program of abundance? Then take a deep breath, because in the second part of this revelation, I will show you not only how to do this, but I will guide you through the complete process, step by step, until you feel these energetic currents breaking, until you feel that invisible wall crumbling, until you experience, perhaps for the first time in your life, what it truly means to be free to receive. And when that happens, when you finally free yourself from these blocks that have held you captive for so long, your life will never be the same, because on the other side of that invisible wall, on the other side of those energetic currents, awaits a version of you that you don't even imagine exists, an abundant version. Prosperous, free, and she's been waiting for you for a long time, and it's time to go meet her. And now stop everything you're doing, because what I'm going to teach you now is not theory. It's not philosophy. It's not just another pretty concept for you to think about later. It's a practical technique, tested, proven, a technique that has already transformed the lives of thousands of people around the world. And in a few minutes, it can transform yours too. But first, I need to tell you about the day Eckhart Tolle discovered this technique. He was at rock bottom. No money. No prospects, no hope, sleeping on a park bench in London. And there, in that moment of utter despair, something extraordinary happened. He realized that all his resistance to abundance came from a single source, the identification with the story of scarcity. He was so identified with being poor, a failure, unlucky, that his own identity depended on the lack of money. And it was in that moment that he understood something revolutionary. You are not your thoughts about money. You are not your beliefs about deserving. You are not your history of scarcity. You are the consciousness that observes all of this. And that consciousness, it is infinitely abundant. It always has been. It always will be. The problem is that you forgot that. You got lost in the identification with the scarce personality. But there's a way to remember, a way to reconnect with that natural abundance. And that way is called the conscious anticipated gratitude technique. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it, but pay attention. This is not for those who want magical results without commitment. This is for those who are really willing to break the patterns that have been sabotaging their lives for years. Are you ready? Then let's begin. First step, identifying the active viruses. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe deeply 3 times. And now answer me mentally. When you think about having a lot of money, what is the first feeling that arises? Fear, guilt, anxiety, inadequacy? Be honest. Brutally honest. Because that feeling? It's the signature of the virus that's operating in you. If it's fear, the active virus is money runs out. If it's guilt, the active virus is good people don't have a lot of money. If it's inadequacy, the active virus is I don't deserve it. Identified it? Great. Now comes the most important part. You're going to do something that goes against everything you've been taught about manifestation and the law of attraction. You're not going to try to change that feeling. You're not going to fight against it. You're not going to try to replace it with positive thoughts. You're going to do something much more powerful. You're going to thank it. That's right. You heard that right. You're going to thank the fear, the guilt, the inadequacy, because these feelings are not your enemies. They are misinformed guardians. They're trying to protect you from something they believe is dangerous. And when you thank them, something magical happens. They relax, they stop fighting, and in the space of that acceptance, a new possibility is born. So take a deep breath and say mentally, thank you, fear. I know you're trying to protect me. I see you, I accept you, and now I choose something different. Did you feel that? That feeling of relief, of lightness? That's the first current breaking. But we don't stop here. Second step, activating natural abundance. Now you're going to do something that few human beings do consciously. You're going to connect with the abundance that already exists within you. Not the abundance you want to have, the abundance that you already are. Place your hand on your chest. Feel your heart beating. That heart beats about 100,000 times a day, without you asking, without you controlling, without you worrying. That's pure abundance. Feel the air going in and out of your lungs. You breathe about 20,000 times a day. Automatic, perfect, infinite. That's pure abundance. Think about the cells in your body renewing themselves. Millions of cells dying and being born every second. Without your interference, without your permission, without your concern. That's pure abundance. Do you see? You are not scarce. You never were scarce. You are an infinitely abundant being who's been convinced otherwise. And now, connected with this truth, you're going to do the most powerful part of this technique. Step 3. Specific, anticipatory gratitude. You're going to feel gratitude not for what you have, not for what you want to have, but for what you've already received in the future. Yes, you heard that right. You're going to thank the universe for the money already on its way, for the abundance already released, for the opportunities already created, but not in a generic way. Specifically, in detail, viscerally. Imagine for a moment it's 6 months from now. You're looking at your bank statement. The amount there is exactly what you need to feel financially free. It could be 10,000, it could be 100,000, it could be 1,000,000. The number doesn't matter. The feeling matters. The feeling of deep relief. The feeling of genuine security. The feeling of real freedom. Now connected with that feeling, say mentally, thank you for the abundance I've already received. Thank you for the freedom I've already achieved. Thank you for the opportunities that have already manifested. And here's the secret that few people know. Say it as if it were true. Not as a request, not as a wish, not as a hope, as an accomplished fact, as a reality you're simply acknowledging. Because in the dimension of pure consciousness, it already is true. Your abundance already exists. Your freedom has already been won. Your opportunities have already been created. They're just waiting for you to align your vibration with that reality. And when you feel anticipatory gratitude, you automatically align. You become a magnet for what you're already grateful for. But there's more. Step 4. Breaking the invisible wall. Remember the invisible wall we talked about at the beginning? That energetic barrier separating you from abundance? It's made of 3 specific materials: doubt, fear, and unworthiness. And now that you've activated anticipatory gratitude, these 3 substances begin to dissolve, because it's impossible to doubt something you're already grateful for. It's impossible to be afraid of something you've already received. It's impossible to feel unworthy of something you already possess. So visualize for a moment this invisible wall. See it made of a crystalline substance, but opaque. And now see your gratitude as a golden light, a light emanating from your heart and expanding in all directions. And where that light touches the wall, it becomes transparent. Where it touches, the barrier dissolves. Where it touches, the passage opens. Continue radiating this golden light until the entire wall transforms into pure transparency. And on the other side, you see your abundant self. The version of you who always knew you deserved it. The version of you who never doubted your ability. The version of you who always lived in natural abundance. And now, with the wall dissolved, you two can finally meet, can finally unite, can finally be one. Step 5. Integration and anchoring. Now comes the most crucial part of all. You need to anchor this new vibration in your physical body, because if it stays only in the mind, it can disperse, but if it's anchored in the body, it becomes permanent. So place your hand on your chest again, and feel this new version of you settling in. Feel the abundance becoming part of your breath, of your heartbeat, of your bloodstream. Feel the currents of scarcity completely dissolving, like iron chains transforming into golden dust, and that golden dust spreads throughout your entire body, reprogramming every cell, reprogramming every organ, reprogramming every system to operate from abundance, to respond from prosperity, to attract from gratitude. And now, lastly, you're going to create what I call a physical anchor. You're going to choose a simple gesture. It could be touching your chest with your hand. It could be closing your eyes and taking 3 deep breaths. It could be placing both hands on your heart. Any gesture that feels natural to you. And every time you make this gesture, you'll instantly remember this feeling, this vibration, this reality. This will be your access code to abundance, your shortcut to anticipatory gratitude, your key to keeping the chains broken and the wall dissolved. Use this gesture whenever the scarcity mindset tries to return, whenever doubt tries to infiltrate, whenever fear tries to convince you that you can't. And in seconds, you'll be back to your state of natural abundance. But now I need to tell you something very important, something that can make the difference between this technique working temporarily or transforming your life forever. The universe will test you. In the coming weeks, it will send specific situations to check if your new programming is real. It could be an unexpected bill. It could be an opportunity that requires courage. It could be a chance to charge what you're really worth. And in these moments, your scarcity mindset will try to return. It will whisper, "See, it didn't work. You're still the same." But I need you to understand something fundamental. These tests are not punishments, they are confirmations. Confirmations that something has changed in your energy field. Confirmations that you're vibrating differently. Confirmations that abundance is trying to enter your life. And when you maintain anticipatory gratitude during these tests, when you use your physical anchor in the midst of the storm, when you remain connected with your abundant self, even when everything seems to go wrong, that's when the real magic happens. That's when the universe stops testing and starts delivering. And the deliveries come in ways you can't even imagine. An unexpected job opportunity, money you had forgotten about, a brilliant idea that turns into income, a person who appears in your life and changes everything, but always in ways that the logical mind could never predict, because abundance is creative, it's infinitely intelligent, and it always finds the most perfect way to reach you. As long as you keep the door open, as long as you continue being grateful for what you've already received, as long as you remain connected with who you truly are, an infinitely abundant being, a being that was never separated from prosperity, a being that only temporarily forgot its true nature. But now you remember, and you know now, and you have the tools. and your life will never again be limited by scarcity, because on the other side of that invisible wall you just dissolved, on the other side of those energetic chains you just broke, awaits a reality where abundance is natural, where prosperity is normal, where receiving is as simple as breathing. And this reality isn't in the future. It's here, now, waiting for you to choose to inhabit it. The choice is yours, Emily. It always has been, and it always will be. Eckhart Tolle showed us the way. The power is within you to break free from the limitations of your own making. Embrace this new reality, a reality of effortless abundance.